So hi all. Okay, for I have some subscribers on this channel, but okay, this is a new video. New year, new year, new video, and we're going to talk about a few things that are really important, especially in this day and age. And you know, for a man, it's always experimentation. A man learns on his own through his trials and tribulations and the feedback that he gets from random people and maybe a few good mentees. Personally, I never had a role model like that growing up. So right now, so the source of getting any sort of knowledge would probably be on YouTube. YouTube was the only place where I could come and just explore what is going on. And that's what I did. I'm 24 now, and for a couple of years I have grasped a lot of things, but still I still am in the phase where I have not mastered myself uh, completely, but I am on that path, on that way. So first first is definitely something is which is really important, which is your physical foundation. Your body is your temple, as they call it, and when you treat your body as your temple, you would not put or consume things that are not good for you. You would not consume uh, junk food, although I don't think that I am not strictly against that, but there's definitely a time and place. And if you don't have a good foundation, healthy, a healthy, good foundation first, then you should not get into junk food. Um, So yes, physical foundation is really important. Having a no excuse mindset towards towards any sort of physical movement, any sort of physical activity. Um, ac- Physical activity in this day and age is really really important because um, you release stress through motion, through movement. A lot of people sit at one place for a long time, and they become used to it, which is fine because that's just the way life is. But you also have to do lot more of the things. You have to keep your body occupied. You have to increase the blood flow in your body. It's not really helpful for you to sit for a couple of hours, not just couple of hours, but generally I would sit like on my desk for like 9 hours, 10 hours straight, and just keep working and then be exhausted. So it's really difficult, but you really have to come out from it. You really have to come out from it, have a no excuse mindset, and really focus on getting a good movement plan done for you. So personally, I don't really do a lot of movement right now, but I would still do some push-ups, do some Hanuman Dand, do some planks, do some squats. I think if you sit at your office, then doing a plank at least for as long as you can would be one of the most beneficial things that you can ever do. A plank is a position which is going to challenge your entire body and your core, and is going to it's an uncomfortable movement. Sitting in a chair is not really uncomfortable, at least for the time being. But even doing 5 minutes of plank every single day is a sort of a moment which is going to change, which is going to change your posture, your, your balance. At times you would also feel like your body is trembling, and that is good because you're releasing anxiety that is stored in your body. Okay, now that's that. uh, obviously obviously if we are focusing on the physical foundations, then definitely we also have to care about food, care about nutrition, care about your diet, right? So having a good foundation of food is energy, food is energy, food is, fuel. You have to have a good diet, and your diet should include a good amount of protein, carbs, and fats. Along with that, I would also say something like fiber. You do need fiber. There are a lot of other things that you can find in kitchenwares, such as ajwain or jeera or something like that, which can also help you in digestion generally. You know, having a little bit of ajwain every time you have food is going to significantly increase your digestion and all aspects of your body. So there are some really good things in given in our household. So become that obsessive person who really pushes forward with these small actions. All right, pay attention to your diet. Your diet is the reason why you are doing the physical activity in itself. Now, when I was in college, I used to push the limits when I used to do gym. I used to lift a lot of weight. I used to have a lot of pain, lot of back pain, lot of, but I grew. I was like anabolic, and I did not take anabolics, but almost at a point where I was anabolic. I was lifting so much. I was lifting like 160 kgs on squats, 140 kgs, deadlifts. I was going crazy, and my diet was on point, but I was not really making money. I was just going to college, and I just used to lift bunch of weights, and all I cared about was the diet. I just used to consume my diet, chicken, some eggs, some soya, some rice. That's all I used to have every single day. Along with that, my regular food, and it gave me good results. It gave me extremely good results, but it was not sustainable. And I'll tell you why. Um, because I was consuming all these things, and my body was always, in that state where I used to get angry a lot. I used to get angry a lot. So I realized it was my anxiety. It was my anxiety, my heart rate, because I was pushing myself too far. And although I was young, I, I I was able to push myself. And mind you, I did not take any steroids of any sort at all. I was pushing my limits. Even if you are doing exercise, the kind of limits I was pushing myself into was unimaginable. And nobody should push themselves so hard. So this is again one more point that I want to discuss is relaxation, and your breathing plays a very vital role. Because when you're in the gym, you're trying to lift heavy, your heart rate is through the roof. You need to learn how to relax your body. And because otherwise you would always be working out of anxiety, you would always be anxious because you want to lift more weights. Your body knows that this guy, he doesn't want to stop. I need to generate more blood, and the heart is going to be like, pump more blood, pump more blood. It's not healthy. Nothing at the limits, at nothing is really healthy. I mean, you have to have the balance. Something that is sustainable is always preferred. If you do not have a goal, if your goal is just to have a good body, good fitness, good fitness etiquette, a good body, a good mind, a good diet, then you should not be pushing yourself to that limit. And you cannot do that. Even if you are pushing yourself to that limit, you cannot do that every single day. So what I would suggest is, this is also something, I learned after a long time, is this is actually, I met a psychiatrist because I was having so much anxiety. Um, and he was the person who told me to do a lot of stretching activities after my gym workout. And he also told me something about Jacobson's muscle relaxation technique, which is, you just lie on the floor, and you just basically focus on every single muscle of your body. You you intentionally tense the muscles such that when you release it, it gives a sense of calm. And this is really important because this works in the opposite manner of what you do in the gym. In the gym, what you are doing, you are working out every single muscle. You're tearing your muscles down. You're increasing the blood flow, which is good. But now, if that becomes the active state of your body, if your body is always like, okay, this guy is physically active, I need to generate more blood, more oxygen, it's not healthy. So you need to do the opposite, because now your body is always going to be in a state of anxiety. You may get really angry really frequently, and you will not even notice this probably. But having been through that stage, now I can see how crazy I was. So do check out some of the relaxation techniques. Do some bhujangasana, some um, there are some there's some neck stretches as well. It's like you just bend your neck like this and look at the top, and then from this side, so it stretches your cranial nerves. There's a lot of videos you can find. For you can just put anxiety and stretching um, onto YouTube, and you would find some videos. So that's definitely something you should do. And just after doing it, the difference that you feel is, I promise you, it's going to make a lot of difference. All right. So that was that regarding our body, our diet, and relaxation. Also, if you want to do relaxation, you should also do single nose inhales, then exhales. I forgot the name, what they call it. Pranayam, yeah. So do try that as well. There are some really good stretches in our Indian yoga. Uh, so do try that out. So this was all regarding, how we can focus on becoming better physically, and physical is also linked to mental. Now I also want to talk about some uh, like a little bit about boundary setting, chasing your purpose, and you know just personal development apart from uh, the aspects that we talked about. So I would really emphasize on the fact that you should have a goal, you should have a long term goal, you should have a short term goal, and your short term goals should result into achieving those long term goals. Whether it's a job, whether you want to make a little bit more money, whether it's getting a degree, whether it's um, getting a better job, whether it's making a switch, whether it's learning a new skill, you have to make a very detailed roadmap for it. And you have to get into an act of no judgment. When you do the activity, you cannot judge yourself. You should not judge yourself. You should only focus on the work that you're doing. And this again comes back to like meditation. So you can try meditation as well. When you're in a state of complete control, complete control over your mind, and this is a mirage. This is literally like a mirage. Your mind is going to make you, or at least let you think that you do not have control over it, but you actually do. You have all the control over your mind, and that's the flip. That's the flip that you need to make. When you think like that, you make a flip. You're thinking outside of your comfort zone. You're thinking outside of what you would usually think. Generally, when people get anxious, generally when people lose control, they think I cannot control this thought. They think I cannot control my life, or I cannot control what happens tomorrow, or they cannot control how their minds are thinking. Once you make that switch, then yeah, I do have control over my mind. My mind is talking a lot of rubbish right now, and I do have a lot of control over it. This is the mindset you need to keep. This is accountability, because a lot of times we would say, I don't know why I'm getting these thoughts. I mean, you must have programmed yourself to have these thoughts. You must have heard it from somebody. You must have been in an awful spot where you wanted to do something and you didn't do something, or maybe the needs, maybe some of your needs, maybe some emotional needs, they are not being met, which is completely fine, which is fine. But that doesn't mean, and that doesn't make you run away from accountability and just say, okay, this is my situation, and that is the reason I cannot control my situation. That is the reason I do not have control over my mind. So you need to remove that. You need to cut that. You need to draw a line in the sand, and you have to choose that, yes, I am getting these thoughts, but I want to get on to the opposite side of it. You have to draw that line in the sand and choose. And it's going to be difficult, but not as difficult as you think, because once you do it, you can do it again and again and again and again until you realize now you have all the control. Now you can think what you want to think. And that's the way we have always been, man. That's the way we have always been. It's just like sometimes if something bad happens and you just get into loop of saying, okay, something bad happened, something bad is going to happen. It's like you should not really care whether something good happens or whether something bad happens. You should just care on the action. You should just care about the things you're trying to achieve, or the work that you need to put in. You don't really need to care about the outcome, fail or pass, because once you make the effort, that's what really matters. Who cares if you didn't get a job that you worked sincerely for? You interviewed at places, you attended mock interviews, um, you prepared a list of questions. You were so sincere and diligent to get into that proper state of mind. Some people don't even prepare for interviews. Some people don't even care about getting interviews. Some people don't even care about the job and they still get it. I'm not telling you not to care, but I'm just telling you that you should not care about the outcome. You should only care about the work that you do and present your work in the best possible manner and remove the expectation of an outcome. And that is exactly the same mentality that you can also apply into meditation. Meditation is exactly that. Meditation is sitting still, letting your thoughts wander wherever they want to, and just not judging, just not having an expectation to control your mind. Why are you trying to control your mind? Generally, that's how your thoughts also stem, because once you see a negative thought, you make it your own. You say, okay, these are my thoughts. They could be, they could very well be. Maybe you have, if you have programmed yourself to think that you're not as good as you think you are, then yeah, maybe those are your own thoughts. But how do you disconnect from them? You cannot associate them with you anymore. You need to draw, as I mentioned, draw a line in the sand. Choose. Are these my thoughts? I'm not good enough. Is this my thought? No. If it's not, why even bother? I am good enough and I'm going to work towards a goal that I very well should be working on. That is the thought I choose to keep with myself. So do meditation as well. Saying sit still 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 to 15 minutes, any amount of time. Incremental incremental changes, incremental improvements, they catch up, man. They catch up. 5 minutes of meditation every single day, first thing in the morning. Don't look at your phone, don't scroll on Instagram. Do a 5 minute meditation at least. Get your thoughts in order, get into the right mentality, get into that active action state of mind, get things done. All right. So, this is another thing. There are a lot more things I can go on and on and on about. um, I'm pretty sure a lot of people who are, for the mature audience, especially, stay close to your morals, and don't understand and try to, with generally with girls or with people, do not judge them. Don't judge a person ever, but analyze the pattern. Analyze the pattern of that person. Don't judge them. Don't judge somebody. If you're really hardworking and you see a person who's not hardworking, don't judge them. Bec- because literally, because they are not hardworking is the reason you are hardworking. If they were more hardworking than you, then you would not label yourself as hardworking. So don't try to change the person. Don't try to change any other person, but develop a develop an ability to analyze patterns with people. If people have a pattern of avoiding responsibility, avoiding accountability, just note it down. Just note it down like a fact. Don't judge them. Don't get angry. Just just let it be in the air as a fact, you know. And this can really help you in relationships, because you will always look at a relation from a logical point of view instead of an emotional point of view. A lot of times, and this has happened to the best of us, this has happened to me, this just happened to me recently. So there was a girl, I was talking to, and I was being logical, but still she got the best of me. Happens to the best of us. I got slightly into my feelings, and then I made a good move. I asked her out. She said no, which is what helped me close the loop. And then after I closed the loop, I also went into a lot of discussions with my own self. I evaluated all the times where I contributed more than her. If we were having a conversation, I was actively listening, memorizing, not memorizing, but remembered the prior conversations he made, and the things that she used to keep talking about, ramble about. I I made a point as a fact. I made sure all those points are labeled as facts. And at a point of time, I was pissed off as well. I was angry as well. I was going crazy. But what's that going to do? That's just going to push her away even more. This is about me, not her. I have to be the one who's calm and collected. I have to be the one who judges her pattern. I cannot expect her to be, always adapting to me, and neither should I. But if I understand that this is the pattern that this person follows, generally when this person, this is my level of contribution, this is her level of contribution, and she's also not willing to go out anywhere. She's also not willing to go out anywhere or spend time with me, try to get to know me. She's also not asking deep questions or trying to get to know me. You can write them down as facts. And earlier, what I used to do was, you know, you, I would say I'm not good enough. This person did not evaluate me, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. I'm not good enough. And that's again into that negative cycle. You need to get out of it. This is not about you. I mean, this is about you. But don't take everything so personal. Take take it personal, the fact that yes, she chose not to be with you. Take that personal, but don't make it personal. Don't make it a personal vendetta against her, right? Because at the end of the day, she's a stupid human being. Now, as I even called her stupid, maybe there's a little bit of anger in myself calling her stupid. But the best thing really is letting it be. Don't even get into a loop of evaluating, whether she's a good person or not, whether she cares or not. Let Let the evidence speak, let the action speak, and let it be. Don't try to change the person, don't try to chase the person. Let their actions speak, because we have to believe that we are all mature adults right now in this day and age. So if something happens, it's not by mistake, it's their pattern. So if somebody is not really engaging, then that is their pattern. It's not that they made a mistake and all. And in family, you know, it's always good to adjust in families. Maybe somebody just had a rough day. Maybe if you already have a relationship, a good relationship that is going on for a long time, in those cases make those adjustments. Maybe the person just didn't have a good day. Maybe they were just tired, maybe they were just pissed off. Still, evaluate it on the basis of the pattern, and especially if the person is not giving an appropriate reason. For example, let's say a wife comes home from work and she says she doesn't want to spend time with you. Maybe you just ask her, hey, do you want to go out somewhere, or hey, do you want to watch a movie or something, and she says no, and she just goes to sleep, and next day you wake up, it's the same loop again. Or there was just no explanation of the fact of why she was so cold. Once, maybe it is okay, and maybe you wait a couple of days for it to settle down. Then maybe you ask, what happened, why were you upset, or something like that. But if it keeps happening, and if it's a reoccurring pattern, then it becomes something to be concerned about. Still, take it on face value and take it on a logical standpoint. Take everything as data points. Think of this very logically, never emotionally. Think of everything that happens as data point. Okay, this is a data point that supports the fact that this person is not really receptive. This person is not really reciprocative. This person is not really responsible. This leads to this. This leads to this. You basically you're basically judging the person. Yes, but you're judging them based on the facts. You're not judging them based on a perception you created of them. Because a lot of times, what we do in our minds is we pedestalize this person, we make them the best human being ever created on earth. And most of the times, they're not. Everybody has their own flaw. They're not the best person in this world. Believe me. Yeah. So those were a couple of things I wanted to talk about. And yeah, again, there's no viewers, but I appreciate this live stream, and I look forward to adding more videos on this and having deep, detailed conversations. Um, so yeah, this was Dhanraj from Mind Matters. I hope you have a great day ahead, and I really hope that some of the advice that I share from this video, from my experience, is really helping you out. If not, please let me know. Please feel free to let me know what topics or feedback, or some suggestions on your end. Uh, please feel free to let me know. You are also welcome to add your own feedback, own experiences, own journey. And I'm basically looking to expand this channel on a very large scale. So, really trying to build a big community here and do this really um, for the betterment of the community. And even if it helps a single person, or even if it helps a single person, maybe even on a single day, it would really make my day. So, thanks a lot for whoever stuck around, and feel free to reach out, and I shall see you in the next one. Thank you.